2, 1.
Russos brand family. We are family.
Hello and what is going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Alterna TV. As always, I'm your host, Brandon Stransky. Got a little bit of stuff going to talk about today. Going to be giving a quick little review of my thoughts on the new Trailer Park Boys animated season, as well as give my rundown of my thoughts on the card of WrestleMania 35. Did not watch the show. I actually thought I'd have, a lot more fun getting high and watching The Office again. So, did that instead. But we'll go ahead and look over the results and give my thoughts on the way the show went down, just reading the results from our good buddy Jason Powell's website, ProWrestling.net. So anyway, Trailer Park Boys animated. I really liked how they set up and established the rules right from the get-go of that the animated universe, and that they're the 7 characters who are tripping on mushrooms. They're the only ones who can see the animation. They're the only ones who can see how things are messed up and weird. The rules of the real world still apply to them, although they still see things, and things might seem different to them because of their trip, which I thought was really, good to establish, the continuity and lay the groundwork, and also kind of make these more creative. I thought it was very well done and well thought out. The way they took care of Leahy, I thought was pretty creative and served as a nice tribute to him, or the Leahy character, I should say, when they had him get carried off by a shithawk and then literally killed him off, and then he came back as like a liquor ghost, like a genie in a liquor bottle anytime Randy needed him. And I thought it was cool how they used some clips of old stuff from not just Trailer Park Boys but other SwearNet content, like Leahy's Liquor Stories, which, if you haven't already, you can sign up there for $4.20 a month. They got some great content there. My personal favorite is the Mailbag series, as well as the videos of the Trailer Park Boys podcasts. Writing wise, I thought the season came off differently than the ones we've been used to, because usually we know at Trailer Park Boys, when you watch it, you're used to there's being a overarching story that goes throughout the season, whereas in this one is a lot like season 1, where there wasn't really much of an overarching story, but it still followed like a linear progression. Like, after the episode when Cyrus and the biker gang took over the park, and they just broke stuff, graffiti, and then the episode after that, you still see them cleaning up the mess from the previous episode. So still, again, not an overarching story, but still follow, a good linear progression. Things kind of, actually, it's a lot more like season 12, where there wasn't much of an overarching story in season 12, but it still kind of, progressed naturally and had a conclusion at the end of it. Kind of like how this one did. There's still some hints or some stuff that was kind of dropped and built up to eventually came to a conclusion at the end of the season with, of course, the concert with Helix and Queens of the Stone Age, which was interesting, kind of cool, because it's not the first time that Helix, or the lead singer of Helix, has been involved with Trailer Park Boys. He's done some stuff with them before. And of course, we all remember the hilarious time when Alex Lifeson came on the show. And I like they brought some of the characters back we haven't seen for a minute. With Cyrus, with Sam, even though he's only gone for a season, but they still find new ways to completely destroy that character's body, like this season with Bear ripping his penis off, and yeah, and something gets really messed up there. And I like a lot of the callbacks too, like, Heaven's them going back to Sam to sew a severed body part back together, or fixing like a damaged body part, or sewing something back up with them, or the return of, and the animation also helped bring another character back that they couldn't really be able to, which was Steve French from season 4, which is of course the mountain lion who was eating some of the weed in the weed fields they had planted. And Bubbles was tripping so hard that Steve was talking to him, of course, in a French accent. But yeah, I would definitely the animated season of Trailer Park Boys definitely felt like it's kind of like its own thing. I enjoyed it. I think they could definitely have it be its own thing and do its own and be very entertaining and humorous and hilarious. Definitely got a few laughs. What else was there that I was thinking of? And also, they had another flashback episode of the boys as kids, becoming when they became friends with Bubbles, the time they got drunk and high for the first time. A lot of good stuff in that season. I mean, a lot of people might dismiss it because of it being animated, but it's definitely worth checking out. I thought it was very good. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Definitely a good first effort. It definitely felt like they were trying to, find their way around, but I thought it was a good, first outing if this is going to be a continual thing with them being animated. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and run down the WrestleMania results. I will not be doing the pre-show matches, just the main show matches. So we open with Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar for the title. Seth Rollins goes over in 2:30 after basically squashing Lesnar bell to bell after Lesnar had beaten him up before the match even started. And this Seth Rollins squashing Brock Lesnar. A babyface, your babyface hero, doing it with a low freaking blow. This was probably, so far, just reading this is the dumbest booking decision on the show. You have a babyface, Seth Rollins, squashing Brock Lesnar. No. Listen, I get if you want to get Rollins to go over, there's a better way of doing this. A much better way of doing that. And a way you can give Dean Ambrose a nice little send-off as well. You start the match. Rollins, fire up. House of fire. Boom, 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 boom. Hits the stop. 1, 2, kick out. Expended all of his energy. Lesnar fights back and just starts beating him. Pounding. Suplex City. F5s. Rollins will not stay down. No matter what Lesnar hits him with, Rollins will not stay down. Then there's an opening. Lesnar makes a mistake. Rollins capitalizes. Fights him underneath. Gets back on top. Has Lesnar rocking and rolling. Goes for a second stomp. Lesnar misses. This time he gives Seth the low blow to pay him back for what happened on Monday. Seth's down. Now Lesnar's pissed. Now he's not cared about winning. He's cared about punishing Rollins. And at some point he gets him up for the F5. Out comes Reigns. Spear. Out comes Ambrose. Dirty deeds. Rollins recovers. You hit some flashy triple team. You take it home with the triple power bomb. Celebrate the win. And Ambrose runs off into the sunset. And then you start building to something with Rollins and Reigns. Alright. Moving on. AJ Styles and Orton. Can't really complain. I think they went the right way with that. You knew both guys were going to have a great match. Let's see here. Usos versus Ricochet and Black versus The Bar versus Nakamura and Rusev. Man. Two guys who have fallen so far, Nakamura and Rusev. This time last year, Nakamura was challenging for the AJ for the WWE title and turning heel. A few years ago, Rusev was riding in to face John Cena on a tank. It's just, these guys, they either don't know how to get people over or they don't want people to get over. It's just, this booking is absolutely just horrendous. Yeah, Usos win over. I would not have given the belts to Ricochet and Black, and they've buried those two by basically making them Triple H's babies. Shane McMahon and The Miz. I do like the booking here in that if you're going to have Shane go over, have him go over in a fluke, and it keeps it going. I just hope that they can get some more creative mileage out of this and actually get some real heat instead of just Shane being Shane, and yeah. Alright, next up we have Sasha and Bayley versus Beth Phoenix and Natalya versus Nia Jax and Tamina versus Peyton Royce and Billie Kay in a 4-way for the women's tag titles. Not sure why they needed to make this a 4-way. We have 2 separate stories being thrown in together just to make room, and the show still went 8 hours. These should have been singles matches. Peyton Royce and Billie Kay go over for the belts. I would still keep Beth Phoenix and Natalya around as a team because they can help boost the division, help boost the women's tag division, and basically be a solid foundation to kind of help get these teams over and work with these teams and help them get better. Let's see here. Daniel Bryan versus Kofi Kingston for the title. Right Man definitely went over. I just wish they would have put more into the build, more into the story, rather than just, oh, we're going to keep throwing obstacles in your way and have underlying racism, but we're not really saying it's racism. Yeah, that's my only real complaint is the build up to this. I thought they could have done a better job. The right guy went over. Again, I just wish they would have done more with the story and the build up. Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio. A minute, why? I'm assuming they're going to continue this story. Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. Yeah. Again, why was this so quick? Why are you sacrificing Drew McIntyre to be squashed like this? This is... He's a guy, he should be consideration to be the guy. He's got the look. He's got the charisma. He can go in the ring. He guy's total package. He's got it. I don't know why he's being wasted like this. Definitely dug the idea of Cena coming back, doing the thing with Elias, but he should have been the one having Angle's last match. Let's see. Batista and Triple H. Of course, Triple H had to go over because this is Batista's last match. Let's see. Angle versus Corbin. Again, that should not have been... if you're going to make Corbin off of this, okay. Good booking if you're going to make Corbin off of this. I don't have confidence in them to be able to do it. If you're going to build and make Corbin off of this, and this was a good booking decision, of course, you know, wrestling tradition, you know, you do the job on the way out. Again, okay, now we're to Bobby Lashley and the Demon Finn Balor. Okay, so the Intercontinental title is worth bringing the Demon up, but the Universal title's not. Okay. And in 405, and we've done nothing to establish the fact that the Demon is something that powers up Finn. We have not seen him, actually, we've not seen the change in the way he works. He still works as Finn as the Demon. He should be different as the Demon. He should be no-selling stuff more. His stuff should be more effective. People should be selling for him differently. He should sell things differently. He should have different moves. He should have new moves. He should basically have, the Demon should basically be an essentially a separate entity that he busts out, that he channels when he knows that he can't beat him as Finn. But again, they do nothing to make it special, just something that they just put on some makeup and, oh look, he's special all of a sudden. Do nothing other than that to make it special, make it different, and make it stand out. Alright, now we have the main event. And I don't understand what's going on here unless they're planning on something down the line here with them counting the 3 count with the shoulders up. Either it was a botch or they're either planning something. I don't have any confidence in them to do something with it. The build-up to it, of course, was atrocious and so convoluted. The only reason why anybody cared was because basically the smart marks basically championed Becky as her own, and that's the only reason why there's anything to this match at all. Anyway, overall, I would give this WrestleMania a 4 out of 10. Some right booking decisions, and a lot of it is based on what comes out of this. Again, I don't really have a lot of confidence in them to be able to do so, but with things being different. Maybe it's possible they could have just been kind of in a almost bit of a holding pattern until after Mania to kind of tie up these loose ends and move on to a new direction. We shall see in the coming weeks. Again, thank you guys for watching along again, and we'll see you next time.
I am the prince of the night.